John, you mentioned a few times that you went back to your UMass days. Can you explain or elaborate on how this team kind of fits the UMass mold?
Well, the UMass teams, we played fast when you let us play fast. If you stretched the court, we were going to score 90. When learning this as a young coach, when you played Temple, if you tried to play fast, you would lose. So you had to play the way they designed the game, and then you had a chance to win. And then we started beating them. In this team, because of its length, should be one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. To be that, you can't stretch out all over the court because they can't get to the rim. And so you have to have more of an offense that's designed to every shot that goes up, there's going to be 2 or 3 guys on the backboard. And that's basically what we did. So we got away from some of the stuff we were doing, and we put in some new stuff and explained to the guys why we're doing it. And, you know, they want to win, and the thing that they did not understand here is if you don't do this together, you're not going to have any fun. And if you're not going to do it together, you cannot win against teams that are going to play like teams. And then when you're losing, it's no fun. And then when you're not enjoying playing with each other, you're really miserable. But the biggest thing, too, the flip side is this team now is beginning to enjoy defense. And if you enjoy defense and you're playing together, you basically can't wait for the next game to come. So I'm happy with their progress and what they're doing.
John, how much of the challenge when things aren't going well is it for a young kid to never think, I've got to fix this, I've got to improve my game and fix this?
Well, here's what happens. It's less of that in that it's I have to do something fabulous. I'm missing shots. I'm not playing well. So this play, I got to make this Showtime. I got to make this Hollywood, which leads to another turnover, a missed shot, a charge. And then now I really got to do. Watch this, spin in the air. Uh-oh, almost blew out your ankle. What are you doing? When you're not playing well, you scale back. These kids don't know it because they've never had to do that before. The second thing is every one of these kids shot 25 times a game in high school. So if you miss your first 10, you're okay. Let's see if I can make my next 7 out of 10. Now I'm 7 for 20. I had a good game. Dude, you missed 10 in a row. In a normal game, you're not getting 10 more shots. So they had to learn that. Basically, you miss a couple, you got to have a mentality that you're going to make the next couple shots, not change how you play. Why didn't you shoot that? Well, I saw it. No. Why didn't you shoot that? I just told him yesterday, when you go back and tell your friends, he's all over me, and when they say, why is he all over me, and you say, because he's telling me to shoot it. Why aren't you shooting? Shoot the ball. That's not what he's saying. What's he saying that makes you mad? No, he's telling me to shoot. Do they laugh at you when you tell them? What do they do when you tell them that stuff? So kind of making a point with Wenyan and some of the other guys, I'm on you to shoot the ball. I'm not on you for quad A. I'm on you to shoot the ball. Quit doing all the other, just shoot the ball. So all that with young kids, they revert what they know best, which they've done for the last 8 years. They come here. What got you here isn't going to get us or you there. And they got to change a little bit. But, you know, they've done it. I'm not fighting guys every day. I'm enjoying walking in practice. I can shorten practice now. They're not fighting me. What do you want me to do? Every once in a while, a guy will revert, and I'll say, don't do that. You're playing too well. Don't do that. Don't go back to where you were. So.
Cal Shea said he started doing the 7 a.m. thing back in December. How long did it take? He said quad A was, I think, the first one to join him. How long did it take somebody to join him, and how much of that was voluntary and how much of it was?
It wasn't us telling anybody. I just knew he was doing it, and as his game kept elevating, that's when I had a meeting with the team and said, so who's our best player? Shea. Really? So let's talk about how he's gotten to this point. And I went through it, including in the weight room. You went and asked Rob who's the best in the weight room, he's going to tell you Shea.
And when did that start? When did you say that to those guys?
Probably after maybe Auburn, something like that. Just grabbed him and said, if you want to know why he's changed and why he's elevated his game, this is why. doesn't miss a class, never late for a tutor. I've never met a player undisciplined off the court that is disciplined on the court. It just doesn't work that way. If you're undisciplined, there's a point in the game where you'll just break down because you're going to do what you feel like doing, not a habit of doing what you're supposed to do and being where you're supposed to be. We had a couple of those. And guys are trying to clean that up a little bit.
So
But
after you spoke to them in Auburn, did everybody start coming in, or did it not?
no, because some of the guys would come in at night. You know, they would maybe have an earlier class than he had, and they would come in at night, which is fine. The whole point of it was, are you making time to change what you don't like? Or are you making excuses? Or are you being enabled? It's always going to be someone else. I told the story, you got a 100-man marching band. They're in unison, it's unbelievable. 99 turn right. Your child turns left. And you ask the question, what is wrong with those 99? Are you being enabled? I mean, the greatest thing, and I haven't watched any of these all-access stuff that they're doing. I haven't watched them yet. But everybody's telling me you're getting a real good taste of what these kids are about. I have great kids who come from good homes. I'm just telling you, these kids, they're trying. This is hard. They had to get smacked around a little bit. They had to get knocked down, and now they're dealing with it. Now we have a tough one. We have a game coming up that it's not the game, it's us. They're good enough to beat us. They beat Missouri at Missouri. They had Tennessee. They lost by 8. And now they're coming here and a chance to play in Rupp. I know they're good enough to beat us. I'm worried about where are we? Have we learned? Or will we revert? Now, if you think there's no chance that we will not revert, you're crazy. You're crazy. There's a chance that we could revert. Let's hope these guys learned a lesson and they didn't like how that felt and they're going to come out and play. I don't even know if that's good enough to win, but you know what? I can deal with where we are as a team right now because we're getting better and they're about each other.
John, I went with Brad, lower level, and now how strong is the impulse in you to enable?
With Brad, he doesn't. You should be in practice. He doesn't get enabled. He still mumbles under his breath. I said, say one more word, you'll be out of here. Your mom ain't here to protect you, son. You're in here with me now. Now, I get that. She kissed me after he made his 3. And the first thing she kissed me before her lips moved from mine, she said, why only 1 minute? That's what I deal with. I always said I would never recruit a player whose mother wears their son's jersey. It's my wife.
Is she enabled? Does she say the coach has got something against
No, I'll tell you what, she's a great mother. These kids, when they call me, my daughters, where's mom? Hello, it's your dad. How are you? Where's mom? He comes over to the house. Brad, was Brad here? Yeah, where'd he go? Well, he dropped his stuff off. He and I talked a little bit, and he just left. Maybe you should come in and say hello. He sees you all the time.
Brad, Mark Emmert kind of opened the door to changing the agent rule for college basketball. How much is that needed, maybe, to go closer to hockey and baseball or whatever?
Yeah, that needs something there, and I say that we need to work with the Players Association who oversee the agents and figure out what do they think the solution is. I think baseball and hockey is a little bit different than what we deal with, but, you know, these kids deserve advisors as they're moving through this process, but the way it's done right now, if, you know, it's an issue. So there's a lot of things that I think in the end of the day, things will begin to change. The problem with the NCAA, it's slow moving. This one doesn't need to be slow moving. This needs to be, it's not going to be perfect for every program. See, the issue you have when you have all these teams, what's right for these 50 may not be right for these 200. And guess who votes? And who gets a vote? So it's what we have. It's the structure that we have. And I know we have the Power 5 and they try to do their stuff, but, you know, I'm counting on that they'll come to their senses. I think these kids should be able to use their likeness, make money from their signatures. It's their name and likeness. It's not ours, it's theirs. They should be able to make money. Maybe the school manages it. Maybe the money goes to their parents for travel, eliminates all the, and maybe there's a limit on what they can do, and the rest they get when they leave here. It's all stuff that can be done easily. But you know, and you see all the Olympians, there's stuff that can be done that we just can't say, well, we don't do it that way, you know, so.
Last question.
Do you think that would save any of this stuff with shoe companies and agents or whatever that's always in the news? You think that would fix it?
You can't legislate morality. You can't. But I am in the homes of the kids that we're talking about. And they want their own dignity. They don't want to be beholden to anybody. I mean, you think of your own family. You know, growing up, your parents, there's pride in that even if there's nothing here, this is still ours. And we, you know, so these kids and their families, they want dignity and they want to do it themselves. I come back to the Players Association should loan these kids money. Let them take a loan. Let their family get a loan from the Players Association. What's the problem? For travel to games and the NCAA tournaments and do it and everything's, it's out. Why? Well, the kid at this school can't get it. Well, guess what? When they get in, this isn't communism, and you can't get a home loan. Guess what? You can't get it. I don't know what to tell you. I demand it because he got a home loan. I'm sorry, it's not how it works in our country. So kids that have pro potential and want to take a loan so that their families don't have to deal with it, why can't you? But I have been saying all this for how long, Jerry? I know you've calculated. 6 years, maybe? 6 years and 3 weeks. All that I just said, I've said. So, and again, this game is a special game. When you think of what this team is going through and what they're now doing, and now as young men, what they just experienced, are you going to even question college basketball and what it does and how it is and all this is for these kids? And again, I think you know I make it about these kids. I do. And it's their experience, not mine. It tired me out this year. You see I'm getting my second wind. You watch me. I'm whistling and skipping in there now. But it was not, I was dragging about 3 weeks ago. But again, I think for all of us, if we stay focused on how this affects these young people, we won't make mistakes. When we're worried about a bureaucracy and keeping the bureaucracy going, you're always going to make mistakes. Thanks.